Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Mukesh sir.
Good
Good
evening,
evening,
ma'am.
Ashwini ma'am.
Evening and Jain
Good evening,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Good evening and Jain sir.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, Mukesh sir.
Good evening, Bharti.
Good evening, sir.
Jai Hind, Prajakta ma'am.
Jane, ma'am. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Shilpa ma'am. Good evening, Anupama ma'am. It's really a great day that we have all our principals with us. So nice to see you, ma'am. So such a long period of time.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, ma'am. Aarti ma'am is also here. Aarti ma'am, are you there? Aarti Sharma.
Yes, ma'am. So I stayed back in the school for internet connectivity, but I lost. So I was rushing to the other building for connection. Now I have got the connection. Good evening,
Okay.
everyone. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, ma'am. Aarti ma'am, just I'll read
Good
out
evening,
the
ma'am.
ground rules and all, and then we can start with our today's session. Good evening and welcome everyone to the 96th episode of CC Friday. And the ground rules are there on your screen, but still I'll read out for you. Be attentive throughout the session. Keep your cameras on whenever possible. It will be great if you keep your cameras on. The facilitators really feel bad that no one is there on the screen and they are delivering the session. So requesting everyone, if possible, keep your cameras on. A couple of questions you can ask to the facilitators using a Q&A option given on your screen. Also, you can ask anonymously. And yes, at the end of the session, you'll be getting a feedback form. Please fill it. On the basis of that feedback form, your attendance will be counted for today's session. Also, it will be counted on the basis of the interaction during the session. Right. Thank you so much. Over to you, Aarti ma'am. I'll stop presenting my screen, and it's already 5:01. We can start today's session.
All right. Thank you so much, Ashwini ma'am, for starting the CC Friday for us. I have also shared my PPT with Aarti Pathak ma'am and Ashwini ma'am, knowing that if I feel any internet connectivity issue, so kindly help me in sharing the slide. So, Jai Hind everyone from DPS Hinjawadi, and welcome to the 96th episode of 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I'll be sharing my screen. Just let me know if my screen is visible to you all or not. So my screen is visible to everyone.
Yes, it is.
Thank you so much. All right. So I hope everyone is ready with the handout which was shared along with the email. If you haven't gone through that, you can take out some time to go through right now also. Meanwhile, I'll start with this heading which is called as Vulnerability Builds Connection. So there's a short clip which I am going to represent. Today we are not going to have a mindful, meditation or mindful bell. But what I would like to invite you all here is to connect with this video, to share your thoughts when you are watching this clip. If you want to, feel free to use emojis when you are watching this video to share your feelings, and completely at a point in time as this video I'll pause. If anybody feels like sharing something, then they can really share, because this is about building connection, and you all have to share that today. We are here to hear everyone. So this today's topic is about listening actively or showing empathy in someone's conversation. So just let me know if this video is audible to everyone or not. I'm confirming, is it audible?
Yes.
Yes, Aarti.
sorry, I'm breaking down your correction. I have paused the clip because I would want to take your sharings over here. Before I take your sharing to initiate this, how vulnerable I am feeling right now, I would like to share that. I'm my 3-year-old son who is outside, and there are people to engage him, but still, while presenting, my mind is constantly vulnerably thinking that what he might be doing. Will he fall? And will I be able to do this presentation in a way which I wanted and I have practiced? So anybody who wants to share that after watching this video, how they are able to connect, please share. Whosoever wants to unmute and share their feeling, please do so.
I would like to go first, Aarti.
Yes, ma'am.
A very dear friend of mine right now is in hospital, and she is on a ventilator. So looking at all this, I was going through that for the past 2-3 days. Every day I am praying for her. She was a fellow principal with me in Pearson's, and she had actually come to Lava for teacher training as well. So a lot of my teachers also know her very well. So when
Understand.
these visuals of hospitals started coming in, I was only thinking of her.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing that. It needs a lot of courage to share when we feel vulnerable in our life. Yes, Prajakta, ma'am.
Yes, Aarti ma'am, Anupama ma'am, we will also pray for her. And I also pray for her personally for her speedy recovery. I was thinking about my grandma. I was very close to my grandma, and in her last days, I used to sleep with her. It was like 6 months I was sleeping with her. I was in 12th grade, and she wanted someone besides her, though she had a separate room, though she had a nurse also for the night, for the day. But then I really remember her now after seeing this.
Oh, so Nisha Sharma is also sharing that she has lost someone very close to her. Shonali, ma'am, Jai Hind. Okay. Yes, Munmun, ma'am, please share.
Good evening, everyone. Arti, I am back to my COVID days. As soon as this video started and the music itself gave me the past memories of COVID times when we were inside our houses and we did not know what is going to happen next. And you have taken me back to those times. I don't know, I'm not able to talk about it right now, but I've seen so many people losing their near and dear ones, and today I can again revisit that feeling that there are so many things going around and people are just they're helpless. They can't talk, they can't show their helplessness, and still they are like we can see them around. So I am back to those days, Aarti, and I'm feeling really bad right now. I can't express. I'm really feeling bad.
I can really relate to that, ma'am. Yes, Swati, ma'am. One more, we will hear the conversation because we have to move ahead in this. Yes, Swati, ma'am.
Jai Hind, everyone. The moment video started, it's a recent memory of myself being in ICU and seeing the people who are admitted along with me passing away. It was really difficult. My entire family was there. Doctor had given deadline, and I can understand when it is about someone else, you can think about it. But when it is yourself and you don't know whether it is tomorrow morning or not. So the vulnerability is at highest peak when you yourself are there. So it's really difficult.
Yes, it's truly, and I can see in the chat there are so many replies, and I really thank the way you all have collected so much of courage to share your feeling at the moment. It's very important that we in a system when we are working, we are social, we are working in interdependence. It's very, very important that how we are connecting with each other, how are we trying to understand others' situation. So we are really proud of every member over here who have courageously shared their thoughts. Sorry, Mukesh sir, I would want to allow you, but due to time restriction, I'll definitely allow you ahead with the slide to share your thoughts. If you can please put your thoughts in the chat, I'll be very grateful for it. So for this only, I would like to move ahead in this presentation, that today we are here to really understand that in a interdependence or a place where we are socially working, then what is that we are going to learn through this session of seek first to understand, then to be understood. So today's learning outcome is that we'll be able to understand how important is this empathetic listening and building relationship and making connections in our real life. So again, moving ahead, I'm going to show you a video. This is a video of movie Inside Out. Let me introduce with the character. The one in the elephant is Bing Bong, and next to Bing Bong is Sadness. There will be one more girl coming in this character. Her name is Joy. So please remember the character, because depending on that, I will be asking you the reflective question. Please look through this video.
Oh, the stuffed animal.
Is it audible? Thank you.
Hall of Fame. My rocket. Wait, Riley and I were still using that rocket. It still has some song power left. Who is your friend who likes to play? No, you can't take my rocket to the top. Riley and I are going to the moon. Riley can't be done with me.
Hey, it's gonna be okay. We can fix this. We just need to get back to headquarters. Which way to the train station?
I had a whole trip planned for us.
Hey, who's ticklish, huh? Here comes the tickle monster. Hey, Bing Bong, look at this. Oh, here's a fun game. You point to the train station and we all go there. Won't that be fun? Come on, let's go to the train station.
I'm sorry they took your rocket. They took something that you loved. It's gone. Forever.
Sadness. Don't make him feel worse.
Sorry.
It's all I had left of Riley.
I bet you and Riley had great adventures.
Oh, they were wonderful. Once we flew back in time. We had breakfast twice that day.
Sadness.
It sounds amazing. I bet Riley liked it.
Oh, she did. We were best friends.
Yeah, it's sad.
I'm okay now. Come on. The train station is this way.
How did you do that?
I don't know.
Okay, so the question to you all is, how did she do that? So the other question is, what kind of conversation do you see over here? The Joy was doing, the Sadness was doing. Yes, Bharti ma'am.
Thank you, Aarti ma'am, for allowing this, and it was wonderful video I saw actually, and we could see there are two characters in green and blue. So I think the green is joy and the blue is sadness. Sometimes we just try to empathize a person with our own ki haan, theek hai, ye, wo, aisa, waisa. That's what the joy is doing. But the moment the blue, the sadness started touching the victim, ki haan, you share what you are feeling. That person like opened up ki and the chocolates were falling and he was hugging and the tears were coming. I think everyone understood, but it's just wonderful, very wonderful.
Okay. Yes, Deepthi ma'am has something to share, but Bharti ma'am, I want you to think a little bit on empathy and what you said about. Yes, Deepti ma'am.
Ma'am, it's a really nice movie. I have in summer I have watched it with my daughter. At last, in this movie, it has shown that sadness let her win to the joy.
But for the moment,
So-
what do you think? What was the
Yeah.
two different conversation was about? Yes.
Sadness was consoling to the joy and happiness.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Yes.
So, yes, Ritu ma'am is also trying to share. Yes, Ritu ma'am.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Jai Hind, ma'am. Actually, ma'am, just now this topic is actually very close to my heart because just now on like last Sunday, we did a podcast which was based on empathy only. So here what this Joy was trying to do is she was trying to dispel the sadness of that elephant by trying to be happy and chirpy. But sometimes you don't need happiness to become calm. The person who is sad, who is in kind of despair, he needs an ear to listen to his loss or whatever things, the sadness that he has. And this sadness, she provided that only. So that's why he became a bit calm and he thought, okay, here is someone who is identifying with what I have been through. So that's what I think.
Okay, great. So I would want to hear it. It brings me to a question. There are two words. One is sympathy and one is empathy. Quickly, in a phrase, I would want you all to put in chat what does empathy means to you all and what does sympathy means to you all. So I'm not going to give more than 30 seconds. So 30 seconds we all have. I am welcoming you all to share your understanding about sympathy and empathy. Okay, Bharti ma'am is saying that feeling others' pain. Great. Sania Ramani ma'am is saying just feel, okay, great. There are so many chat coming up, so I'm just missing over Sania ma'am's chat, but I'll go back and try to read it. Yes, just feel sorry for others is sympathy, and feeling others' pain and offer a hand or help is empathy. Great. That's a very good phrase. Everyone is quoting over here.
Aarti, may I say something?
Yes, ma'am. Sure.
Okay, namaste to everybody. About sympathy, it's when you can feel the pain, you feel sorry, but that's it. And in empathy, you can put yourself in the other's shoes and you try with compassion to relieve that person of that pain. You act in some way so that the pain can be mitigated.
Correct, ma'am. Correct. You're correct. So here I would move to the next slide where Brené Brown is helping us to understand the empathy and sympathy. All of you are correct on your page, but this is a beautiful story which really touched my heart. So I want you all to go through this beautiful story of Brené Brown and then share that how do you take empathy and sympathy after hearing this story out. Is it audible?
Yes.
So what is empathy and why is it very different than sympathy? Empathy fuels connection. Sympathy drives disconnection. Empathy, it's very interesting. Teresa Wiseman is a nursing scholar who studied professions, very diverse professions where empathy is relevant, and came up with 4 qualities of empathy. Perspective taking, the ability to take the perspective of another person or recognize their perspective as their truth. Staying out of judgment, not easy when you enjoy it as much as most of us do. Recognizing emotion in other people and then communicating that. Empathy is feeling with people. And to me, I always think of empathy as this kind of sacred space when someone's kind of in a deep hole and they shout out from the bottom and they say, I'm stuck, it's dark, I'm overwhelmed. And then we look and we say, hey, climb down. I know what it's like down here, and you're not alone. Sympathy is, ooh, It's bad, no. You want a sandwich? Empathy is a choice, and it's a vulnerable choice, because in order to connect with you, I have to connect with something in myself that knows that feeling. Rarely, if ever, does an empathic response begin with "at least." Yeah. And we do it all the time, because you know what? Someone just shared something with us that's incredibly painful, and we're trying to silver lining it. I don't think that's a verb, but I'm using it as one. We're trying to put the silver lining around it. So I had a miscarriage. Oh, at least you know you can get pregnant. I think my marriage is falling apart. At least you have a marriage. John's getting kicked out of school. At least Sarah is an A student. But one of the things we do sometimes in the face of very difficult conversations is we try to make things better. If I share something with you that's very difficult, I'd rather you say, "I don't even know what to say right now. I'm just so glad you told me." Because the truth is, rarely can a response make something better. What makes something better is connection.
Okay, so I hope this video would have given you an insight of understanding. Again, I welcome you all on the chat to share that ever in your life, did you created that kind of dark space for yourself? And then did you find out someone close to you who has really helped you to come out of from that dark phase? You can share it in your phrases. If you want to share it through thumbs up, emotions, you are welcome. Or unmute also. Yes, Mukesh sir, I'm going to give you that time to share your experience.
No, it's not about sharing experience. I just wanted to come in to bring, all the videos, all wonderful. But I think very simply, if we want to understand the difference between the two words, sympathy and empathy, and what they connote and denote for all of us, if we look at the origin of the word or the way it was developed, okay, both are Greek words. Em and pathos bring together the word empathy. N is the prefix in Greek, which means within, and pathos is suffering. So when you are able to understand the other suffering from within, it is empathy. And when you're only with the person, which is sympathy, let me give you the origin of sympathy now. Pathos, again, definitely. Again, a Greek word. There it is with, S-Y-N, sin is with. So you're with the person who is suffering. That is when you're expressing sympathy. But when you are doing it within yourself, you're able to understand, as Jaya very beautifully put it, when you are able to be in another's shoe. Only then you know where that shoe pinches. Right? So that's the difference between empathy and sympathy.
Thank you so much, sir. You have helped me a lot in, simplifying with the real meaning of these two words to the audience. So thank you so much again. I can see that there are a lot of replies and there are a lot of connection which is happening. So moving into this connection, as sir has already explained you these two words, but what the Stephen Covey has to say about it, he says that listening is something which is divided into 5 domains. I'm not talking about English listening skills here. It's about the life. So being ignorant or pretending to listen or being selective listening is natural. To be that is not that you are falling under a bad category. It's natural. But what we need to seek is to grow to become attentive listener, to grow to become an empathetic listener. And to know more about it, what is better than learning from the experiences? So here now, I would want to welcome guests from all 4 campuses, all the principals and leaders for this evening to come on for a fireside chat. So this fireside chat is divided into 2 sections. the first section is going to have a questions with the learning leaders and the principals, wherein I will be asking one set of question to the principals. The second section is divided. It is open for the audience. There are a few questions which is for the audience, which they can feel free to answer. So I'm going to invite one after the another. Please excuse me for that. And I really want to thank all the leaders for taking out time to be a part of this fireside chat. So very first in the list, I would invite Mukesh sir, who is principal of DPS Varanasi. I know everyone is aware, but it's my duty to introduce again. Can we have a big round of applause or emojis shared to welcome Mukesh sir for this fireside chat? Next, we have Jaya ma'am. I would also like to invite Jaya ma'am, principal of DPS Hinjawadi. If we can really welcome our leaders for this discussion. Welcome, sir. Welcome, ma'am. So, to you, sir and ma'am, I have this question. What role does listening play in a school leader's ability to create a positive culture? And can you share an example where listening first helps resolve a major conflict with anybody? You may avoid students and teachers in the school culture, but as a whole, if you want to share your experience, what is it?
I will let Jaya go first because chivalry is still alive.
Okay, sir, I take that as an order. Thank you so much. I am glad to be a part of this fireside chat with all the other leaders. Thank you, Aarti. I would keep it crisp. So I'll go with an example because you have asked if I can share an example. Am I audible, Aarti?
Yes, ma'am, you are very much audible.
Okay. So there was a situation a few years back when my vice principal in my earlier school had planned to resign. She simply just told me that she has to resign and it's a situation where she really cannot help. That was a moment where it was something very unexpected for me, and to some extent I was quite angry because it had been a long journey with her. I had seen that she grows from a pre-primary to the vice principal's position and in various capacities and have those experiences, and then hearing all of a sudden that she just wants to leave. I in that anger, you can say, or frustration, initially I couldn't show that gentleness. Okay, I called her, I spoke to her, I said, why this, and this is not expected, and you are at a very important position, and all that a principal probably would feel, and it was somewhere before board exams. So I said that, but then the same, she didn't respond much to it. She said, ma'am, please try to understand, I'm in a situation where I really cannot continue. I said, okay, I'll talk to you later. And then in some time during the school hours itself, I just realized that this is not the right way. And I did not even hear her out properly. I didn't push her to share with me. And then I called her again and tried to be gentle this time. And I said that I know that this cannot be a sudden decision for you and it cannot be a rash decision as far as I know you. I would like to know what led you to think so. And that's when she opened up. She shared that she has decided to adopt a baby, and she feels that in order to create a bond with a newly adopted child, or before adopting a child, she wants to prepare herself and the family environment and also take out time to bond with the baby. And she doesn't feel that with her current responsibilities she would be able to do that. I patiently heard her out, listened to her. In fact, I appreciated the move. I really, personally, I liked the thought that she was planning to adopt a baby girl from an orphanage. And that's when I said, do not worry, I'll see what best can be done. And it was something unimaginable. I think in the schools, I don't know if other schools follow it, but we did not have a policy like adoption leave, like we have maternity leave. And I did not speak to her, but I approached the chairman. And I said, the way we give 3 months maternity leave to any expecting mother, she is going to be a mother. and she has to build the same kind of a bond and connection. She deserves a maternity leave. And with such a kind management, they also heard me empathetically, compassionately, and they agreed that we should incorporate this. And since then, my previous school has this policy of maternity leave equivalent to, sorry, this adoption leave equivalent to a maternity leave. And I think that situation which was kind of leading to a conflict turned into a new idea, and it created a new culture in the school. Yeah, that's what I can think of. And she worked with me for quite a few years after that, and she's currently a principal in a very reputed school in Mumbai. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing that and bringing us into connection that, yes, we learn when we get into such situations. Yes, Mukesh, sir, please, if you can share some of your experiences.
What a beautiful thought, Jaya, and what a beautiful action, because a biological child grows in the womb, whereas an adopted child grows in the heart. Excellent job you've done. Congratulations for that.
Thank you,
All right,
sir.
I will go back to my years somewhere. I was leading a school in Panchgani, which is known as Panchgani, but if you speak it in Marathi, then it's known as Panchgani, very close to Mahabaleshwar and Mumbai and Pune. The school, after a 90-year-old history, had transformed from the Parsi management to a Gujarati management, and I was brought on board because half of my side is Gujarat. When I was on board, the owners, of course, were living in Houston, and somehow I got the charge. 2 years down the lane, we had an issue with the entire staff, be it the housekeeping staff, the kitchen staff, or the hostel staff. It was a residential school. They were promised something when the management had taken over, because what happened was the Gujus are good businessmen, and they tripled the strength of the school by not having a single bed, which used to be the Parsi, but not a double bed, but a triple bunker. And we had, the strength tripled. So, but the salaries were perhaps the same. So they went on a strike. I mean, they gave me a week's notice, and they said, "Hum agar hamara salary nahi badhta hai." And since this gentleman lived in Houston, our phone connections, would be in early morning, and I gave him that. So he was a little strict and stern, like perhaps management should be. And he said, nothing doing, go down to Y, which is a place very close to Panchgani, get the labor commissioner's order. So we did all the legal things that we had to do. While I was busy, somehow it struck me, why don't I just sit and talk to these chaps? And I invited the entire set of the union leaders to the dining hall over a cup of tea. We spoke to them. So I said, all right, you give me time. And can I kind of come back to you? नहीं, हम लोग बहुत टाइम दे दिए हैं. अरुण भाई जब आए थे यहाँ, हमारी बात भी हो चुकी, उन्होंने प्रॉमिस करके फिर चले गए, लेकिन काम अभी भी नहीं हुआ है. I said, चलिए, you've shown this kind of a resilience so far. Give me one more week and we would. So while we did everything in terms of, preparing for running the school, if these people would not perhaps work a week later, we kind of did conversations one-on-one. I had a HOD there. I had a physical education department teacher who was there since the times of the Billamorias. And we did little conversations with her. And gradually we brought them on board, and they gave us this one extra week's time. Once they did, I went back to Arun Goradia over the phone call, and I said, listen, you need to do something about it. Otherwise, it'll be difficult for us to. And then he kind of, as Jaya's management heard them empathetically, he was not so empathetic initially. But then when I put the fear of God in him and I said, listen, agar nahi hoga, to hum log, we'll have to close the school. We'll have to tell them that. So ultimately, फिर दोनों worked. Empathy भी work किया, और शायद थोड़ा सा एक, appraising them of the real situation and the practical things also worked. So I think that's how we were able to resolve this union problem.
Thank you so much, sir, and thank you so much, Jaya ma'am, for sharing that to us. I think this helps us to understand that before we get into any decision about someone, it is very important that we try to understand someone's situation. We try to be little diagnostic instead of being judgmental. That's a very great sharing. Thank you so much, Jaya ma'am, and thank you so much, Mukesh sir. Next in the list, I would like to invite Anupama ma'am, who is principal of DPS Lava Nagpur. I love the way ma'am is always carrying her aura of being calm and composed and talking about what she wants to share. And also I would love to welcome Shilpa ma'am, who is principal for DPS Nasik, and she has always made me learn something from her actions whenever I have been with her. So I really welcome both of you, ma'am, for answering the coming up question, and thank you so much for taking out time for being over here for this fireside chat. So the question to Anupama ma'am and Shilpa ma'am is here. In your experience, how does effective listening or active listening impact teacher morale, overall effectiveness in the classroom? Yes, ma'am, you may go ahead.
Yeah, so I would like to say that, first thing, listening is my superpower. Because more than speaking, I like to listen, and I'm someone who like to absorb whatever is being said. So when you listen very attentively and empathetically to what the teacher is sharing, first and foremost, like you had already shown through the videos, it makes a connection, right? Second, it also brings in a sense of belongingness, and it reduces burnout.
Can you share one example, ma'am, that can really help us to understand any one situation?
Every day I'm listening to whatever is happening. I'll just give you an example that a teacher came and says that I don't want to continue working here because there is too much of work. I'm getting overwhelmed. I'm not getting time. I am neglecting my family. So these kind of conversations are happening regularly in my office. So we try to reduce the pressure that is there on that teacher by listening to her first and foremost, and empathizing and saying, okay, I understand what you are going through. And second, then what immediately, though there is no solution, but when you listen to a person who is venting out the feelings, what happens is that the person feels heard. And definitely what happens is, maybe I may not give a solution immediately, but the person definitely feels that, okay, someone was there to listen to me and I have shared my feelings. So the first thing that I do is I listen, I don't react, and I don't even respond. So I just say, yes, maybe I understand, or these are only non-verbal cues that I give to that person, and I allow the teacher who's sitting in front of me to speak maximum.
That's amazing. That's amazing to hear, ma'am.
And I then tell them that, okay, I may not have a solution right now. So, sometimes they cry. So I tell them that you are not leaving my office with tears in your eyes. So I kind of offer them a glass of water, ask them to wash their face in my washroom. And then I said, with a smile, you are going out of my room. And whenever there is some solution that I have, I will definitely come back to you. So this is what happens day in and day out in school when you are, in a position like this.
Great to hear that. So next, can we move on to Shilpa Hiri ma'am? Yes, ma'am.
Yes, yeah. I completely agree with Anupama ma'am. Many a times these are the situations we all face. And generally, what happens, we are not listening. We immediately want to answer something or the other. There are few assumptions. Most of the times we have the judgment with us. So generally when somebody approaches me, it could be a student or it could be a teacher who wants to share her concern. For me, it is, I'm a human. So it does come to me, I'm going to judge. But I have to take a pause, listen to the person, and try to understand from where is she coming in. What could be the root cause of the concern he or she is facing. Also, many a times, you don't, as Anupama ma'am already said, we don't have the answer. But I think asking the right question to that person gives the solution to that teacher, so that maybe they are thinking. For example, the latest incident I would share, after this Badlapur incident and the thing that happened in Bengal, there were few group of students who actually came to me, and these were like teenagers, one boy and a girl. So these two together came to me and they shared that, ma'am, we actually want to educate our students about sex education. So for me, it was, first I had to listen to them. I listened to what they wanted to say. Also, I felt that this is, at least these two students have expressed it openly. But there are so many other students who have it within them. We are getting concerns from the teachers about, eve teasing is happening. So why not give them this opportunity to talk about it and express it? And so during the assembly, just mention about having a debate, and they wonderfully could do it. So I think somewhere the students felt that they were heard. Also, there was one more incident where they were not allowed to wear watches. So again, the thing was, they were writing to me, they were actually wanted me. So I just called these group of students and asked them that, why do you want to wear watches if you have clocks in the classrooms? Because the teacher had concerns that they looked at the watches when the classes were happening. But the children had an idea that they require watches because when they are for different classes, they must reach to the classes on time. So I think listening to them and then making a decision also, I think, is actually being empathetic to them. And as we say with the teachers, this happens that the teachers have, at times talk about more workload, correction work not done. But in such situations, we have to understand it's not about they making excuses, but how are we going to help them plan out their time? I think as leaders, we always need to be empathetic and support the teacher and ensure that, and actually trust for their intentions.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Shilpa ma'am, and thank you so much, Anupama ma'am, for making us learn that the diagnostic is one thing that we take care of, but the other thing is to get in someone's shoes, to really understand what they are feeling, not judging them, and also to learn from someone that how you can hear is amazing learning that which is happening right now over here with us. Yes, Shilpa ma'am.
Yes. One more thing. At times when a few people don't speak or express openly, but I think as leaders, we also understand through their body language that
I agree.
They are upset with something. And I think just a pat on their back or just a simple hug itself or a handshake, I
I
think
agree.
that itself is appreciated by the person.
It
And
is
it
making the
comes
connection
from
happen, is building
connection
the
happens.
connection.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Thank you so much, Shilpa ma'am. Thank you so much, Anupama ma'am, for sharing your thoughts over here on these questions. I really think the audience must have gotten into a good insight of what it is to be feel like when you are at a leadership position. So next, I have here to welcome Siddharth sir as well as Munmun ma'am to please answer the next question. Siddharth sir is a chief learner of our all 4 campuses, and Munmun ma'am is a learning leader at DPS Varanasi. And the mental chattering has always helped you all. So, and Munmun ma'am is also quite empathetic at listening someone's problem. So let's hear out from them about this question, that what is that strategies they have found effective for balancing at times when they are in a pressure to provide quick solution, but they have to hold their tongue or bite their tongue and say, oh no, let us hear them up. So what is that strategy they follow? So I would request here Siddharth sir and Munmun ma'am to please answer this question. Who would like to go first? Yes, Munmun ma'am.
Aarti ma'am, I would like to go first because I know when Siddharth sir will talk, everything will stop. So I would want to listen to him definitely. So I would like to go first. This question is really something that we keep doing every day, because it is very, very difficult for especially me to avoid giving solutions, because I am in a habit of giving solutions and get it resolved. Yeah. So that is very, very difficult. But at the same time, I understand if I am providing solution, this is something that I am doing with my own perspective. But how am I developing my colleagues or my team members to find solutions for themselves? So I will just quote a quick example. Recently, we had a homework policy, and we had floated it to the parents, and some as soon as it was there with the parent community, I had a bunch of parents giving me calls and WhatsApp messages that, ma'am, this new homework policy doesn't suit me and doesn't suit us, and DPS का एक standard होता है, मैम आप लोगों ने क्या कर दिया, एक दिन में सिर्फ 2 होमवर्क, and that too इतने कम होमवर्क आते हैं, बच्चे एंगेज नहीं है, कंपटीशन बहुत ज्यादा है, स्कूल्स बहुत ज्यादा कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जामिनेशंस की तरफ जाते हैं, मेरा बच्चा आगे जाके क्या करेगा. एंड 3 of them were doctor parents, so I can understand कि they are looking forward to their children also becoming doctors or engineers. So it was like okay, great. So, and they were thankfully from one single section of a particular class. So I said, okay, great. Thank you for the feedback. And this is something that we really appreciate कि आपने कम से कम ये पढ़ा कि ये homework policy है and children are going to act accordingly. So then I thought that I will explain them what is the requirement of a homework policy and how we prioritize that which subject should be taken on which particular day, and because maths is something that should happen every day. तो मेरे साथ तो मैं तो बात करने के लिए तो expert हूँ, मैं बहुत कुछ बोल सकती थी, but I stopped myself. And then what I did was, I'll get back to you. The next day I went to the team and just discussed that, okay, yesterday we had sent a homework policy, what about it? So a few of my colleagues, they came to me and they said, yes ma'am, थोड़ा मेरे पास parent का आया कि बहुत होमवर्क है, आप लोग हर दिन 2 होमवर्क देंगी. Great. I thought, what, Munmun, if you had given them that, okay, I'll look into it and sort it out, I'm going to give you more homework, or I'll ask my team to help you with more homework for your child, it would have worked the other way around. My team is saying that they have got messages where the parent is asking for lesser homework. How are we planning 2 homeworks in a day? So it was, again, I was like, wow, great. I did not give them any solution. And then what we did, we called the parents to school, and then we had a discussion. The parents understood that, yes, 2 of them are high achievers, and we will try to give them some additional homework so that they are engaged, because these parents cannot give them time. They are back home around 9:30, 10 every day in the evening, so they are somebody who cannot give the children a little more time. So they want these children to be engaged in homeworks, because otherwise they will be engaged in mobile phones. So this was the issue why these parents had come, and I am really thankful that I gave myself some time and tried first to listen to my team before I give a quick solution. So this is a very recent example that I can quote, that it is definitely very, very difficult, but I will say the strategy is चाय को ठंडी करके पियो भाई, जल्दी जल्दी पीने की जरूरत नहीं, थोड़ा रुकते हैं, and I think we will be able to take solutions from the ones who are posing problems. So I think I did it that way, and that's all. Thank you.
That is why it is said that समय हर घाव पर देता है. Now I realize.
समय को समय देते हैं.
समय देना बहुत जरूरी है. It is sometimes very important that it's a very great strategy to hear someone out. You don't have to give any solution over there. Avoiding solution, just hearing them is a very, very good solution. Now we would like to hear from Siddharth sir. Sir, please, if you can please answer this question.
Okay, so thank you, Aarti. I'm in a car, so my network might be a little difficult, but I'll try. So what I generally, so I am not good at this, very frankly, if I share with you. I am learning. This was 3 years back when I said that I will start working on my questioning. And since then, I am working on this. And also, something that I have started doing about 2 months back is about 1.5 to 2 months back, I'll share that, is because I do a lot of online meetings, I have the privilege of doing this, is now what I do is I take the transcript of my meeting and discussion and I put it on a teacher feedback GPT. And then I ask it a question, and I ask AI questions that how did I do in my meeting? Did I give a lot of solutions or did I ask questions? And then I say that, okay, and probably Pathak ji is going to show all of us today a little bit about that GPT. I use AI to train myself to ask better questions in every conversation. That is what I'm working on right now.
Thank you so much, sir. And I've been learning with Sir, Aarti ma'am, all the principles over here, and also each and every member of this team who is making me learn to ask that right question. This is a very good solution that you can do, is asking those open-ended questions which can help you to go deep down. And
so Sharma ji, I'll quickly ask if I can request you to stop. We have about 6-7 minutes. If Pathak ji can quickly share a little bit of some projects on AI, would that be okay?
No problem. Sir. It was just about to close. I'll wrap this up. Is that okay?
Yes. Go ahead.
So, since we have one more presentation aligned and everyone felt connected, so we have shooted the time already. And I would just close the questions which I was about to ask to the audience, but I would really welcome through an email if this audience can share whatever they want to share from their end, to share an example from their life where listening has always helped, or where not listening has created a problem for all of them. Okay. And on that note, I would like to close that this is what we take away from today's session, is about diagnosing the problem, the situation, instead of judging, listening empathetically and seeking to understood first, then to be understand. So that's the whole learning which we take from this session. Before you all go for Aarti ma'am's 5 to 7 minutes presentation, I request you all to share your mantra for today to be an empathetic listener. And I really very much want to thank all the principals, Jaya ma'am for being empathetic listener many a time, even Shilpa ma'am being many a time empathetic listener, and to all the principals who are doing this job every day in and out. And to this audience today, thank you so much for being empathetic listener to me, to all the communicators over here. This session was about to hear you all. Kindly give me the feedback. I would request Ashwini ma'am to please share the feedback link. And over to you, Aarti ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Aarti. It was a wonderful presentation. You connected the entire audience, and it was amazing. So I'll quickly take everybody to, you might be listening at all the platforms on integration of AI in education and a lot of things that can be done with AI. So we have just started our journey with Siddharth sir under his guidance. Aarti, if you could stop sharing your screen. Thank you so much. I'm just sharing my screen and would like to share some of the things that we are doing currently. And let me share. I hope my screen is visible now. Okay. Okay, so let me share a few chat GPTs that have been developed in-house, that have been created by Sir, by Poonam ma'am, by our Shikha, so our team members. So let me share some of these with you. So first is this unit plan generator. So you might have experienced this or used this. So give me a minute, it's just opening up. Okay, so you might have seen this. So quickly, I'll give you a glimpse of this. Yeah, okay. So I'm taking, simply I'm picking up any of the LOs and then I'm just giving it command of creating 2 sessions. So you'll find in a minute how wonderfully it creates one entire unit plan. And it gives you the option of editing the plans also, like you can give it command and you can modify the plans. Then you can go to the next section, which is here, that is for assessment. So you get LO based questions. So it aligns it frames questions at different difficulty levels. And for each LO that you have chosen, you are aiming to achieve by the end of the lesson. For each learning outcome, it creates 3 levels of questions and the solutions are also provided. Again, here you have the option to give it command to make the questions difficult or simpler or easier or add a variety of question over here. And then it goes to lesson plan generation. It has the same framework that we already have in place. It creates the lesson plan in the same way. Again, here you would see it's for session 1 and session 2 is getting generated. And when you go to session 2, you can see that's within, I think it has hardly taken 1 or 1.5 minutes. So in 90 seconds, your lesson plan is ready. And again, here also you get option of editing the lesson plan. Particularly sections could be edited or the entire lesson plan could be regenerated. So all the options, you can suggest improvements from here. You can ask it to add some collaboration. You can ask it for integration of technology in the lesson plan. So all those things could be done and your lesson plan is ready. Of course. All the efforts that the learning champions do in this is magical without the touch of, so AI is something that is an aided resource with us, which can save our time, instead of starting from scratch. We can save our time, and we can use this productive time for the children in doing something else for them, giving that personalized attention. So this is one of the lesson plan generator. The next that we have is the one which is for grade 9 to 12. So here you would find more NCERT based content. So it has all the concepts from NCERT. So you can prepare chapter wise and in subtopic wise also. In chapter you can choose 1 or 2 topics based on which you can generate your lesson plan. So it is very specific. The question generation is also very specific over here. Taking you back. Now coming to teacher feedback. So not going to teacher feedback immediately. Let me show you some which is for admission. So sir has created this, which is for admissions. Anything. So this one GPT is efficient to answer any query that you have regarding admissions at DPS. So any questions that you have.
Aarti, there are a few questions in the chat.
Okay, I was not able to see the chat box
So
actually.
Sharayu asked, do we have access to this lesson plan generator?
Okay, so some of your team members definitely have. We can get others also added to it. You can get that, ma'am.
So in case you want access, please write to Aarti Pathak and email that you want access, and you will get access to it.
Yes, write an email to me. I'll get that, get you added to the lesson plan generator also. Okay, so this is one where
Neeru ma'am is asking whether you have something for Hindi as well. It is.
Oh, I'm glad to share. I'm glad to share that. Give me a minute. I'm sharing my screen again. So here you have one ChatGPT for Hindi. So right now I have tried to customize it for grade 10. Okay. So you ask it, prepare Hindi grade 10 question paper for 80 marks. So it knows what are the top chapters and stories in the textbook. Sparsh में क्या है, कितने marks. आप इसको ये पूछो कि I'll show you in the next round.
Hindi teachers were always asking कि बाकी सब language में तो मिल रहा है, हिंदी, मराठी, संस्कृत में कुछ नहीं हो रहा है.
So now why it is giving subtopic here based on what CBSE has shared this year. Accordingly, it is dividing the sections also for grammar topics.
So what Aarti has done here, कि your textbook of grade 10th is fed to the GPT, and the GPT is functioning within the textbook.
Can it be done for Sanskrit and French as well?
संचयन, अब जैसे आपके पास बुक है, right? संचयन से how so it's searching.
Shikha, are you there in the meeting, Shikha?
So you can see. अब जो हिंदी टीचर उनको पता है मार्क्स ये कैरी कर रहा है as per the CBSE guidelines provided for 2024-25. So see, it knows, and when it is going to create the question paper, it will add only 6 mark question from Sanchayan. So this is for Hindi. Similarly, we have for Marathi created by our learning champion Poonam Patil. She has created one for Marathi. So here also, if you feed in the requirement of creating question paper for grade 10 Marathi, it creates grade 10 Marathi. So again, here also it is the same, that your touch is really, really important. But yes, starting from scratch is a different type of work where it takes a good number of hours for doing it. But here you can see it could be generated within minutes, and then you can give your touch to it and enhance the questions. You can do the modifications, but in this process you will save definitely you'll save 3-4 hours. So that could be used in a more productive way for the children. So we have, if you see over here, we have financial aid policy.
So
We have
Aarti, if you can show the teacher feedback GPT and let's give feedback to Sharma ji on her presentation.
Okay, so but sir, for that this meeting needs to end, and then we have to.
Okay, tacit is there,
Right.
na? Nahi.
So the report I have to upload over there, and then it could give us the feedback.
Okay, let's pick up a class transcript from the past somewhere.
Okay, so I'll give you a very quick example. So give me 1 minute. I am sharing.
Okay. So meanwhile, Pathak ji is sharing this. All the teachers, learning leaders, school heads request you to note Shikha's email ID. And like you saw the Marathi question paper generator, and so you can have GPTs for everything. That Marathi paper generator was only बिकॉज उसमें सिर्फ ग्रेड 10 का टेक्स्ट बुक फीड है. तो अगर आपको ग्रेड 5 का अलग चाहिए, ग्रेड 4 का अलग चाहिए, 6 का अलग चाहिए, आप प्लीज शिखा को एक ईमेल लिखिए या आरती पाठक को ईमेल लिखिए. What you will need to do is you will need to collect the format of the blueprint, at least 5 to 10 question papers of the past, the PDF of the book that you are currently referring to, your UBD plans. If you have all of these resources ready, then you ask for Shikha for a meeting with these resources and your GPT will be ready in 10 minutes. You will go back from the meeting with your GPT ready, your personalized GPT ready in 10 minutes. Okay?
And the best thing is the more you use, it will automatically update itself. So it has the feature that we have opted for, that we design it in a way, the more you practice it, the more you use it, with number of usage, it will, and you give it the feedback that, okay, I want more competency based questions, I want in this way. So it will take this feedback to improve its version. So automatically it will keep updating itself with your feedback and with your requirements.
Shikha, can you please put in the chat कि what all do they need to come to you with? क्या क्या उनको डॉक्यूमेंट लेके आने हैं ताकि जीपीटी बन जाएगा? Please put it in the chat.
Okay.
So you can either go to Shikha Pandey, you can go to Aarti, you can go to Poonam Patil. All of these people will help you make this GPT. Even to all the school heads, learning leaders, I know that a lot of us send out communications in WhatsApp. बहुत बार क्या होता है कि वो कम्युनिकेशन कभी कभी छोटे मोटे हो रहे, उसमें एरर्स आ जाते हैं, स्पेलिंग मिस्टेक के, इसके उसके. So we also have made a communication GPT. Pathak ji, if you can also show that a communication GPT that will allow, that is made as per your brand guidelines. So if as a teacher you want to send out a message in the WhatsApp group, you can actually type that message in the GPT and the GPT will modulate it as per our brand guidelines. A lot of times our physical education department has a question that and they're always asking me that Siddharth, ये बच्चा आ रहा है, उसको कितनी scholarship मिलेगी? So we now also have a financial aid GPT. So you will get to know कि किसको कितनी % scholarship मिलेगी based on, yes, for circulars also we have a GPT. So please, आपको जो भी requirement है, you reach out to Aarti, Shikha, and they will give you the exact links of the GPT. We don't want to make these GPTs available openly to everybody. आप मांगोगे तभी मिलेगा आपको.
Hello, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
So can we have one to note down the MOM after our
Yes,
meeting?
yes, you can have one. So please send a request on an email to Shikha or Aarti and we will do this.
Okay, sir. Yes, sure.
So a quick example of what sir shared just now. So I've given a case to it. Okay, and let's see what it replies.
Aarti, there's also a circular or a communication GPT. You can show that also.
So this is a norm there. So you could easily see that all the norms which are already. So we don't have to go back to the document, open it again, and see what is written in this. So I can quickly just ask this question. So this is your personal assistant available to answer all your questions. So who can guide you, who can mentor you, who can answer your questions. For all that support, you have a support person available in your desktop, in your mobile. Yes, Munmun ma'am, you have raised your hand.
Aarti ma'am, I just want to understand, can we have a small hands-on session for the ones who are interested in creating these?
Ma'am, do share, do write an email. We are ready for it.
Those who are interested in creating it, yeah? Not for getting what is already created, but those who are interested in creating these GPTs for various purposes. I'll do that.
Okay. Yes, Ikita?
Namaste, ma'am. I was just checking the features of ChatGPT. However, it shows that it's showing that if we wish to create one for ourselves, we need to subscribe to the plus version of it.
Yes, it requires.
So Ishita, we already have a couple of plus versions. We create on the plus version, and once we share that, if you go to ChatGPT, look at the left bar and type teacher feedback GPT or grade 10 math GPT, you will see the GPTs that we have made public.
Okay. That's great, sir. And I'll explore that.
Those are already available, and the ones which are created and can be of use, we will share.
Aarti, can you put up the grade 10 math GPT in the chat box right now?
Sure, sir.
So Ishita, once you click on that link, you will go to a chat GPT, which is specifically for grade 10 maths, which has been created there.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you so much, sir.
So here is the grade 10 math GPT. So I'm asking it to prepare a question quickly. So what helps over here, that every section it is aligning from 80 to 40, it is aligning it on itself, making following the CBSE guidelines. Now you see the learning outcomes are also listed. With each question, the learning outcomes are visible at the end. LO, apply the section formula, find the LCM of numbers. So all questions are aligned with learning outcomes. The entire struggle that we feel at times that our assessments are not learning outcome aligned, we miss out on assessing certain learning outcomes, all that gets resolved with this. When your each question is, you can see that how beautifully has been aligned with the learning outcomes provided by CBSE. Okay, so in less than a minute, you can see the 80 marks paper is ready. So now, if in generally you might have been taking questions 1 hour or so for creating, but here you can see we have saved a lot of time. Now this time you can go through, you can definitely improvise, but then you save your hours on this. I can see some hands raised. Yes, we will be sharing all the ChatGPTs which have been created, and I request everybody to try it. The more you practice, the more you give it feedback. ChatGPT is the best learner. It will improvise itself. Sonal ma'am, you want to say something?
Yes, ma'am. Actually, I have shared request for lesson plan ChatGPT to you, and also, ma'am, I also want to generate AI generator of question paper. generator, ma'am. Can we have a look of
So,
it?
Sonal, please ready the resources that was listed in the chat and then send an email to Shikha or Poonam Patil or Aarti and fix an appointment for 10 minutes with them. Okay?
Okay, sir.
You will get on a Google Meet with them and you will come out of the Google Meet with whatever you need.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So for the next 2 days, I want Shikha and Poonam ma'am to only focus on making GPTs. तो उनके inbox इतने आप लोग भर दो कि उनको 2 दिन तक खाली यही बनाना पड़े.
Be your list of requirements are awaited. Do let us know what all you require in that can help you to save your time in your day-to-day work, so that all routine work time could be saved for our students.
And what you need to do is you need to come with, if you are making question paper, the question you need to ask yourself कि मैं question paper कैसे बनाता हूँ. मैं क्वेश्चन पेपर बनाने के लिए क्या क्या डॉक्यूमेंट्स मुझे पता होने चाहिए. मुझे ब्लूम्स टैक्सोनॉमी पता होने चाहिए, मुझे सीबीएसई का पैटर्न पता होना चाहिए. वो सारे आपको पीडीएफ लेकर के आने हैं मीटिंग में. वो पीडीएफ लेके आओगे तो आप जीपीटी के साथ वापस जाओगे.
Okay. And so before I close sharing this, a quick glimpse of the sheet also. So now there is nothing that we have done. It's an update from Google Sheet itself that you when you create this kind of sheets and when you go to inserting a table, it gives you option of inserting tables like blank table, event, project tasks, content tracker. So you can create the sheet based on what work you are doing. So once you do this, you have the option of marking the status. You have the option of marking the owner. Now, next is you just add the email ID over here to whom all you want to go as CC, to whom you want it to go as a blank carbon copy. And then you can put up that what is the end date. So whenever the end date would arrive, the person would receive an email saying that your deadline is this. So okay, so that will keep many of you might be doing this, that giving reminders, sending reminder emails. But with this automation, you can save again your time. So it is nothing, it's just an extension that you need to add, which is auto reminders for sheet. So once you add this, it helps you to again save your time. Again, you can see my sheet has GPT for sheets, also docs, slide, for everything. I have added extensions. So this is again not going into this currently, sharing this one with you. Please you try to use this. It will save again your time. Auto reminders for sheet. So automatically on the date, the person will receive an email. You just have to frame a template, what email that you want to share. So won't hold you back. It's already 19 minutes that I have taken from you. Before we close, this journey started with Siddhartha's motivation and encouragement and his perspective on integration of AI in education. So truly grateful to him. And with this, I would like to share that tomorrow, as we all know, that tomorrow is the World Gratitude Day. So let's celebrate this day, make it more special. So I'm sharing a Padlet with you. On this Padlet, you will see that there are school names already written. So all of us need to send one message of gratitude for a team member from another team. Not from the specific branch where you are currently working. So send it to another branch who has positively impacted your work or your personal growth. So let's express gratitude. Gratitude is the right attitude. So let's do that. I am going to share this link in the chat box right away. And I await your emails with your requirement of ChatGPT. So that will help us to support you with a lot of GPTs that could save your time. Thank you so much.
Can I request you to add the Delhi Gurgaon office also as one head, and
Sure,
requesting all principal learners to make this visible in a central area in your school for tomorrow on a smart board or a PPT or something in a central area in the school. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Yeah, there are a few questions, Aarti, if you can take them. Deepa, Sonali.
Okay.
Others,
Yes,
wish,
Sonali, ma'am.
if they wish, they can leave. Yes.
To others, please feel free to leave. To all those who have queries, I'm here to respond. Please share. Sonali, ma'am, do you have a question?
I just want to announce that a feedback form is shared in the chat box. Please fill it, then you can leave. Yeah, over to you, Aarti.
I think it's, let me. Okay, I don't feel that there are any more questions. Smriti ma'am, what do you want to want me to share?
Ma'am, that वो question paper वाला GPT, chat GPT.
Okay, chat GPT for question paper.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, sure. I've shared it in the chat box.
Grade 10.
Yes, it is for grade 10.
Only. It is for maths only, no, ma'am?
Yeah, this is for mathematics.
Okay.
So purposely we are making it very much subject specific, because that is going to, in that way, the ChatGPT will be able to give you better responses. So we want to create it in such a way that it could be used by us from here. So that is why it's class and subject specific right now we have created.
Okay.
So Smriti ma'am, you can get it created for your class subject combination. Write an email to Shikha.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Definitely, I'll do that. And thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm so glad. I'm overwhelmed. कि अभी क्या बोलूं?
So we will wait your email for
Send me,
for requirements.
Smriti ma'am, send me a video. How will this solve your problem? Send me a small
Definitely,
video.
sir. Yes, yes. Sir.
And a big thank you to Siddharth sir for this.
To all the teachers who get a GPT, if it will solve your problem once you get it, first solve it and then send me a small video.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Pallavi, do share your requirements. So what is something that we could design for you that can make your life easier, make your work easier? So do share that with us. We will definitely and would love to create.
Surely list down my pointer and then share with you.
We have already started
Thank you
getting
so much.
mails for GPT.
I can see my WhatsApp flooded.
Shikha, please schedule appointments with everybody. आप कुछ करो और पूनम मैम को कुछ दो. पूनम मैम, are you there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
ठीक है.
Okay, thank you everyone.
Thank you, ma'am.